afternoon. It is Vivian Cox with Cochrane Community Conversations. And today I bring to you Jen. And I'm going to let Jen introduce herself.
Okay, so my name is Jennifer Walden. I am a financial planner. I have an office here on Main Street in Cochrane. And I've had my business here for a few years.
How many years, Jen?
I moved my business to Cochrane in 2020, in the height of COVID. We were renovating a space here, and we'd started renovating it in January, and of course COVID hit in March. It was great. So we had a place in the city, and we had a place here. We were all working from home still. So we essentially had 3 offices at once.
Oh my gosh, right?
Yeah.
Because COVID wasn't crazy enough.
Exactly.
Oh goodness. So how long have you been a financial planner, Jen?
So I've worked in the financial industry since I was in my 20s. So I don't want to say how many years. I'm in my 40s now. But I worked with Sunlife for the last 4.5 of those. I switched firms a few years ago, and primarily for me that was so I was able to move my practice to Cochrane, have the flexibility to do that because I knew that I wanted to have a practice here in Cochrane itself.
Right. So you left the big city.
I did. I used to drive a lot.
Right.
I used to drive to South Calgary for, I think, 11 years. I drove to South Calgary, eight of those years being here in Cochrane, and then a year to Crowfoot, and then now I've been here for 3 years.
Wow.
And it's such a difference. Like I was telling you earlier, I used to go to the city twice a day, and now I go once a month. My mileage is extremely cut down.
Right. Her vehicle's new again.
Pretty much. We're back to 20,000 kilometers a year, and I swear that's only because of my son's hockey.
Oh my gosh, what a difference that makes though, right?
Yeah.
To have your business locally.
Totally. Absolutely.
So, Miss Jen, my next question is, as a financial planner, like, what do you do exactly? Or can you give me an outline of what you do?
Yeah, so I work primarily with clients who are nearly retired or newly retired is typically when people start working with me. And I deal a lot with the side of things. My specialty is in decumulation. So a lot of people spend their whole lives accumulating money.
Right.
And then we get this big pile of money and we retire and we say, oh no, what am I going to do now? It's really hard to start spending it when we've been spending our whole lives saving it.
Right.
So I work in that side of things specifically. I have clients who come from the private sector, from owning their own businesses and transitioning out of those, starting to either transitioning their business, selling it, or transitioning it to a child, and in the farm community as well. So clients who are retiring in the farm community and looking to pass on their farm to their kids or to sell it. It's a hard time. There's lots of transition and lots of changes. So I love working in that side of it for that reason, walking people through the transitions and the changes and the little bit scary stuff that happens around that time of life.
Right.
We're hopefully only doing it once.
Right.
Yeah.
It sounds to me too, not only, like the dotting the I's and crossing the T's, but also this can be quite emotional, I think, for some of your people.
Oh yeah. For
Right.
sure. We got lots of Kleenex here in the office. We got boxes of Kleenex in every room. I cry, other people cry. We're planning for the worst case scenario in a lot of situations as well. And if we've planned for the worst and we're hoping for the best, but we do have to talk through all the hard stuff too. So
Right.
yeah, and retirement as well is extremely emotional.
Right.
Yeah. It doesn't stick for everyone. A lot of people decide to go back to work these days. It isn't just the inflation though. Some people just are finding recently that retirement doesn't really sit with them and they need a purpose and they're going back to work. So
Right, because you hear more and more people, right? I've retired once. Okay, now this is number 3.
that's why I say hopefully they're only doing it one time, but develop hobbies before you retire.
Right? Very key, very key, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So, changing pace a little bit here, Ms. Jen. How long have you been living in Cochrane?
So we moved here when my son was a baby. So he's 11. Yeah, we'd have been here 11 years now.
Oh.
11 years this August. We did own a place here before that. We were going to move to Cochrane a while before that, and it didn't work out for us then. We ended up being back in the city just due to our jobs and that. But when we had little ones, we came to Cochrane actually to sell our property. And then when we moved here, I loved it so much that we ended up staying. So we can't leave. We were about 3 weeks into living here, and I said, this is it. This is the best thing ever. We're not leaving. And we've been here ever since.
Right? Oh my goodness. Oh, time flies, hey?
Yes.
So my next question is, why Cochrane? Like, what really drew you here?
So we actually lived in Canmore when we bought a property in Cochrane. And we love being in the mountains, and we wanted to be close to the mountains, and we thought it was the next best thing because we knew that we had to be close to the city for work and whatnot. But Cochrane itself, the reason that I fell in love with it was my kids were little at the time. There was so much support for young families. People were really supportive towards each other. And it was just the kind of place that I grew up and I wanted to raise my kids. So when we went to the grocery store, I would see the same people at the grocery store. I grew up in Salmon Arm in BC.
Mm-hmm.
So I think back then we were about 11,000 people when I lived there. So it was a similar feeling, right? It was a similar vibe. You know, all the people, you know, at the grocery store, at the hockey rink, and my kids get to be in the same sports with kids. And it's big enough though that they get to see different kids on different hockey teams in different years, and they develop really great friendships. And yeah, I just love Cochrane. It's been so good for our family.
Right, so community, so family. Yeah, that's what I like too. You know, when you go uptown and you can actually see somebody that you know. Right, at the grocery store, it's like, hey, there's some, hey, I saw so-and-so, right?
It was so tough with masks on because
Right.
we were. It was okay while we were doing masks and masks, but when we were doing no masks and then masks, and you would meet new people, and I was always trying to figure out, is that the same person?
I've got this lawyer friend here in town, and I went and sat in his office, and he's like, oh, I didn't even realize it was you. I'm like, got the mask on.
I actually went to the grocery store one day and I saw someone. I thought, thank goodness they were wearing a mask because I don't know if I'd recognize them without it.
We can laugh about that now.
Now we can, yeah.
Oh, goodness. So Miss Jen, do you have any thoughts on shopping locally here in Cochrane?
Oh, we shop everything local now. It's been so great since we've had some of the stores, some more stores moved to town. And I want to say, for a lot of people, they looked at Walmart as a bad thing, but for us, it really kept all of our business in town because I didn't have to go to the city anymore to buy my kids socks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, we had that bargain shop and they had all that stuff for the kids, like the socks, the underwear for the kids back in the day. And then for a while we had nothing here. And so we had to go to the city for stuff. And now really we can keep most of our business in Cochrane just for the specialty stuff. I found for the first few years it was challenging because we had, you know, the dentists and the eye doctors and all of that in the city still. So transitioning those things can be a little bit hard. But I found that, well, now we have one specialist doctor that we go to the city for, and that's it.
Wow, hey, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's great.
Oh,
We have all the amenities here now, though.
right?
Like,
Everything.
everything, professionals, yeah, it's really great. All the banks are here as well, so we can do all of our banking, all of our lending, everything here too.
Right. So, Ms. Jen, have I forgotten anything, or did you want to mention anything that I might not have talked about today?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
No?
Places I love to go.
Where do you love to go?
I love to go to the cave.
Serious?
Have you been to the cave?
Tell us about the cave.
Oh, the cave is awesome. It's a sauna spa. I would go there every week if I could. I would love to take Friday afternoons off and go every week. A sauna spa. It's over on the 1A as you're coming down the hill there on the right hand side. Yeah. Oh, that little street has so many good stuff. Plant Place. I'm addicted to the Plant Place. And anything grows, but I'm a plant person. So, yeah. But one of our favorite restaurants in town here, we love to go to Fence and Post for lunch up the street here. Go for lunch a lot. I can't name too many otherwise. Otherwise you'll know how much we pay for ourselves. I love going over to New Radiance. I love going to like a Medi Spa over here on Main Street. Yeah, I have so many favorites.
Right? It's hard to pick one, right?
I know. An amazing osteopath in town that I can't say enough good things about. Yeah, it's just we we just love what this community has to offer now.
Right? And there's just such a variety, right?
Mhm.
Okay, Miss Jen, I think that wraps it up for today. And I want to thank you so much for joining me. And that's it.